Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at several cases of police misconduct, including an incident where officers aggressively assaulted, harassed, and berated a teenager during a simple traffic stop, while also holding her at gunpoint. Our first incident involves 3 officers who quickly surrounded an innocent civilian's vehicle with their firearms drawn, followed by excessive force and property damage. On December 6, 2019, in Charlotte, North Carolina, 3 officers from the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department driving in an unmarked car stopped a civilian by the name of Anthony Caldwell, who was driving a white Mercedes sedan with his girlfriend and brother as his passengers. Although in certain circumstances officers can use unmarked vehicles for a pursuit, it's still recommended that officers use marked automobiles when following someone, as 83% of highway patrol vehicles in North Carolina must be marked. Nevertheless, the officers tailed the civilians into the parking lot of a nearby hotel. What they did next, however, was certainly unbecoming of an officer of the law.
What in the world?
Hands up! Hands up! Unlock the door!
Immediately, without warning, all 3 officers surrounded Mr. Caldwell's vehicle with their firearms drawn and aimed at the car's windows. It's common knowledge that officers are only allowed to draw their firearms when they deem that deadly force will be necessary to handle the situation. This belief is further made true by the U.S. Department of Justice. Law enforcement officers and correctional officers may use deadly force only when necessary, that is, when the officer has a reasonable belief that the subject of such force poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to the officer or to another person. Moreover, such force may not be used solely to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect, and firearms may not be discharged solely to disable moving vehicles. Since it was nowhere near possible to suspect that the civilians in the car posed the danger of death, the officers were not allowed to draw their guns. In fact, in a similar incident in 2020, the city of Phoenix agreed to pay $475,000 to a family after one of its officers approached their parked car with his gun drawn and kept banging on the window while threatening to shoot them. Unfortunately, such a scenario was repeated yet again.
Got 3 occupants. Unlock the door. Everybody keep their hands up. Hands up! Unlock the door! Unlock the door. Open the door!
You good?
Open the door now! We're gonna break it. We're gonna break it.
If you break my door, you're gonna get sued.
Okay.
You're gonna get sued.
We're gonna break it. Let's go. Open the door. Open the door now. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door.
As the officer brutally tried to force the intimidated civilian's car door open, he continued to threaten them. However, it's important to note that a police officer cannot open your car door without permission unless there's probable cause, a search warrant, or an immediate concern for public safety. This is because the Fourth Amendment protects one against unreasonable searches requiring legal justification, while ensuring that law enforcement needs a valid reason to intrude upon your privacy, usually supported by probable cause or a search warrant, or an immediate concern for public safety. This is because the Fourth Amendment protects one against unreasonable searches requiring legal justification while ensuring that law enforcement needs a valid reason to intrude upon your privacy, usually supported by probable cause or a search warrant. This includes the sanctity of your vehicle. Furthermore, an officer can request your driver's license and registration, but this doesn't automatically permit them to search your vehicle. Considering the situation at hand, It was very clear the officers posed more of a threat and were breaking more laws than the civilians. So, obviously, without permission, the officers were not allowed to open the vehicle's doors. However, rather than back down, the officers employed drastic measures to accomplish their task.
You open the door now.
Ma'am, open the door.
You're gonna go to jail. We're gonna break your window, and you're going to jail. Let's go! Open the door! Open the door now! Let's go! Open the door! Open the door! Let's go! Open the door! Open the goddamn door! Let's go! Open the door! Let's go! Get out! Open the door! Open the door! Now you're under arrest! Open the door! Open this door!
With their current actions, it's very clear that the officers were violating the civilians' fourth constitutional right, which states, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. On top of that, though, by unlawfully damaging the vehicle with their batons, the officers were also liable for violating the civilians' fifth constitutional right, specifically the clause that states, "Nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation." Despite this, the officers continued to break open the vehicle with no signs of stopping. As one could guess upon witnessing the footage, it's no surprise that the officers did not care for their department's mission statement, which states, "CMPD implements solutions and expands collaborative relationships within our organization and community to enhance trust, fairness, and respect to increase public safety." And their vision statement, which states, "CMPD envisions becoming the trusted, respected, and sought-after community partner by serving our citizens and taking care of our employees."
You don't open this door now. Open the door! Open the door. You're gonna go to jail with him. Open it up! Let's go! Open the door! You better open the door, man. You're going to jail with him. You're going to jail now. Open the door! Open the door! We're going to jail with him. Open the door! All right, Ray, try it. All right, listen, hold lethal on it. Hold lethal on it. Ram.
Smash this out.
Watch out. Open the door now! Open the door! Open the door! Let me see your hands! Open the door! Open the door! No open the fucking door! Let's go! Open the door! Open this door right now! Open the door now! Hands up! Keep them up! Keep your hands out! Undo your seatbelt and get out. Get out. That's my bro.
What have I done?
It's behind your back.
That's my
What have I done?
Stand down!
You acting a fool. Okay, you are too. No, it's called stop, comply. Okay, man. Okay. Okay. Come back. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. We ain't acting like that in a one. Put your hand down, man. My hand. Loosen up. It ain't gonna hurt. Quit it. Relax.
As they intimidated the victims, more officers showed up at the scene and witnessed what their peers were doing. However, rather than stop their heinous acts, they assisted them in their wrongdoings. This meant that the officers were in direct violation of their own department's policy, which states, officers will not interfere with or take action in cases being investigated by other officers of CMPD or by other governmental agency, unless the intervening officer believes that a manifest injustice would result from failure to take immediate action. Moreover, as soon as the officers opened the vehicle, they violently threw the passengers onto the ground and even held one of them by the neck. Needless to say, such actions were completely against their department's use of force policy, which states, officers will use no more force than necessary in the performance of their duties and will do so only in accordance with CMPD procedures and the law, and they will comply with CMPD procedures concerning the documentation and investigation of response to resistance.
Tell him to let my hand go. Tell him
That's
to
all
let
you
my
gotta
hand
do.
go. Tell him to let.
Easy as that.
What crime have I committed? You ain't said. They still haven't told me why I'm under arrest. You still haven't said why anybody in my car has handcuffs on. This is not no detention. This is an arrest. And he assaulting me out. He's assaulting me out. He's assaulting. He's assaulting me. Everybody, he's assaulting me. I haven't done nothing.
Stop
I
resisting.
ain't stopping nothing. I ain't moving. Ain't no everybody see I'm not moving. Everybody see I'm not moving. Everybody see I'm not moving.
All right, let's go this way. Come on, man. Walk.
Out. I'm saying the handcuffs. The handcuffs hurt, man.
You were resisting and they were put on.
You not gonna find nothing on me. You not gonna find nothing on me. I don't sell drugs. I don't smoke. I don't do nothing. You not gonna find nothing on me. You not gonna find nothing on me.
What's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem? Why are y'all so amped up? After my brother.
Y'all wouldn't roll down the windows. You wouldn't open the doors. You wouldn't listen to nothing we said. You got any weapons on you, man?
I don't even think you care. I don't even think you care, man.
Okay. This is your car?
Come on, man. Ain't nobody asking you to search me, man. Who asked me? Before I get in the car?
Yes.
For what?
Plus, you smell like weed, dude.
You do.
What? Get in the car for what? Because I smell like weed? Come on, man. Out, man.
Even if the civilian did smell like weed, the officers couldn't have known that before coming into physical contact with him. Furthermore, before even seeing him, the officers were holding the civilians at gunpoint and breaking their car for seemingly no reason. Thus, they had no justification for their actions. It's also important to note that the U.S. Department of Justice states, officers will be trained in de-escalation tactics and techniques designed to gain voluntary compliance from a subject before using force, and such tactics and techniques should be employed if objectively feasible and they would not increase the danger to the officer or others. When feasible, reducing the need for force allows officers to secure their own safety, as well as the safety of the public. Despite having the chance to talk to the civilians first through the window, they threaten their lives with firearms instead, clearly failing to de-escalate anything and being the sole cause for the situation being so hectic to begin with.
Boy, y'all must got outstanding warrants, man. Y'all got to have outstanding warrants.
On your brother?
On somebody. Look at how y'all doing him. What the f?
This all happened because of the way he's acting.
Because he went roll down his window.
Spread your feet, man.
He was already under arrest.
You gonna put her in here?
He was already under arrest.
No, man. He's under arrest because of the way he acted. Are you good with this?
I'm good. I'm good on my side.
Kick your shoes off when you sit in there, man. Sit your butt down first and kick your shoes off.
Now that you're calm, we can loosen these cuffs a little bit too.
Yeah. Let us check your shoes, man. We'll fix your cuffs.
Please have a little pocket knife. Let's pop it a little bit.
Man,
Can you put your shoes back on, man?
You talking about never been through this right here. Never been through this. You always had to go through something, don't you?
All you had to do,
Why
all you had to do was open the door, man.
But you Terrence Cobb, you could have talked to him through the window. We seen it done a million times. Y'all getting tired of talking to us through the window. Yeah, so y'all
let him fix your handcuffs.
Exercise.
Put your shoes on and let him fix your handcuffs.
I don't know what y'all exercise.
Slide in.
But I can't. Yeah.
Slide in like a couch.
Throw me in. Throw me.
What?
Yeah.
Just keep yourself back a little.
Just scoot back, man.
Where's my phone?
Your phone is on top of the car.
Yes.
I think.
Ah.
Is that in your right pocket?
Yes, ma'am. Will you send me Williamsdale, please?
No, your wallet's on top of the car. You probably got your phone. There you go. Alright, let me lock these so they can get tighter on your head.
Okay. Can somebody explain?
Hold on.
Can somebody explain to me what's going on? But I don't deserve an explanation
you're
because
being detained
I
right
don't
now.
have nothing to do with what y'all got going on.
Slide in, dude. Slide in.
What am I being detained for?
I don't think we need to explain that.
After the incident, Mr. Caldwell was charged with resisting an officer and traffic-related offenses, all of which are misdemeanors. Moreover, following his release from jail on the night of his arrest, the victim went to the hospital where doctors determined that his elbow was unfortunately fractured. Unsurprisingly, he filed a complaint with CMPD regarding the incident. The strange thing, however, is that the department defended the force used in the civilian's arrest. Thankfully, though, an independent chain of command review board reviewed Mr. Caldwell's complaint and determined the officer who busted Caldwell's driver's side window and shouted profanities, Officer J. Rubino, used conduct unbecoming of an officer. As a result of the board's findings, Officer Rubino was suspended for 80 hours without pay, making him ineligible for promotion for a period of 2 years, and was reassigned from his specialty unit. The board also determined, however, that neither Rubino nor any other officers on the scene that day used excessive force in busting Caldwell's windows or arresting him in such a way that his elbow was fractured. Next up, we have a case where an officer unlawfully arrested a pregnant woman after she dropped her daughter off at school. On May 22, 2015, in Barstow, California, officers from the local police department arrived at an elementary school on a call from a woman who accused another lady, Charlena Michelle Cooks, of driving recklessly in the parking lot. Upon arriving at the scene, one of them exited their vehicle to converse with the caller. The following footage captures the event that transpired.
What's going on, ma'am?
I was right here, and I have my blinker on to turn here. I work here, and this lady up there, she's standing up there. She just comes like following around me and almost hits me while I'm in a turn. So I honk. She stops, rolls down her window. She's like, "Who the hell you think you're honking at?" And I said, I'm turning. My blinker's on. You can't drive like that in the parking lot." And she just starts yelling at me. Hurries up in front of me, parks right here, all crazy. So then I park. She gets out of her car, and I wasn't going to get out. This isn't her car. She moved it real quick. And
Okay.
Then, she gets out of her car, comes over here, punches my window, throws something, whatever that brown thing is, she throws it. She's screaming at me.
Okay.
Miss Anderson is out here. You can ask her.
Okay.
She was,
Is your window damaged? Anything damaged at all?
no, she scared the hell out of me, and I'm like, I'm calling the police. She's all, call the police. She's just screaming at me.
Okay.
Then she took a picture of my car,
Okay.
and she hurried up and got in her car, moved it somewhere else.
Where's her car?
I don't know.
Well, I need to see her car if you have it. What kind of car was she driving?
She's standing over there looking.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a
All
light
right.
gray Toyota Camry.
I don't
I
see
was
right
just
now.
scared. I don't
I don't
care,
see a
like-
crime that has been committed. If there was damages, I would give you the opportunity to place her under citizen's arrest if you wanted to. I don't see any crime. I'm gonna document her name,
Right.
probably a story. I'm pretty sure she's gonna give you a story where it was your fault and then this and that. But we'll just document that and see where her car is, and we'll go from there. Okay?
I didn't
Is that
get out
fair
of my
enough?
car till
Fair
right
enough.
now.
Okay. All right. Do you think she was driving recklessly?
In the parking lot, yes. I work here, so I'm here every day, and I think people shouldn't drive like her.
Like fast or what?
Yeah, she was driving fast and she slammed in here. Like, I'm just scared. I didn't want to get out of my car.
Okay, what vehicle is she driving?
Toyota Corolla. Light silver. I don't know where she
Is that one over there? Up 3?
Alright. Okay, I'll go and talk to her if you can maybe locate her car.
The officer stated to the civilian that as long as there wasn't any damage to the car, there was no crime committed. Nonetheless, in order to gain a better grasp of the situation, he walked away to search for the alleged reckless driver. After finding and meeting with her, however, the conversation escalated into something that was gruesome to say the least.
That one right there? How you doing, ma'am?
Yeah, I was just dropping my daughter off. I was in this lane where the police cars are. She was honking and honking, so I'm like, roll my window and see what she wants. She was like, you cannot park right, you cannot drive right here. This is a one-lane thing. She was like, this is a one-lane thing. I'm gonna hit your car. Just go. Just go. I said, who are you talking to like that? So I parked, walked my daughter up in here, and was like, you have a problem? Because you talking to me like I'm your child or something. You know, you can say something like it's a one-lane thing, but I never known it to be a one-lane thing because I always see two lanes, two cars driving through.
Right.
Right. So then she just acting all scared and stuff because she just, I don't know.
Well, she said you threw some on her car.
No, ain't nobody throw nothing at her car. I had my daughter right there. My daughter was scared.
Okay.
My second grader was scared.
Okay. All right.
Exactly. She just called the police for whatever reason. I don't know.
Well, you know, some people just feel like sometimes they're,
okay, well, I
you know,
just feel threatened by her because she white.
Was that?
And she's white and she's making threats to me.
I don't know.
felt threatened by her.
Okay.
I even went in there and let them know because I know she works
Okay.
here.
What is your name, ma'am?
I'm not giving you my name for
Oh,
what?
yeah, I actually do have the right to ask you for your name in this
Okay, let
case,
me make
okay?
sure. Let me
Okay.
make sure.
Well,
What's her
how
name?
long is it going to be for you to make sure? Okay.
Let me make sure because I'm not about to get harassed by the police.
Well, you
today.
know what, ma'am? I have every right to ask you for your name, okay?
I'm not about to get harassed.
Ma'am, no. Michelle, what? What is your name?
Let me get the person.
Ma'am,
because
I'm gonna
that's her
give you,
employee.
ma'am, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes.
Hello?
Okay, Miss.
They talking about they have to get my name and all that.
Despite what the officer may believe, Ms. Cooks was not required to provide her name to him. This is because, according to South California Law Group, unlike some other states, California does not have a stop and identify statute that makes it a crime to refuse to identify yourself. This means that you do not have to show police your identification unless you're being lawfully detained or arrested. Therefore, pressing for the civilian's name was meaningless since she wasn't required to do so. However, when he didn't get what he wanted, the officer resorted to much more drastic measures.
I don't know because
Okay,
she over
all
here
right,
crying
ma'am.
and stuff.
Just give me your name, please. Give me your name,
I
please.
just told you my name is Michelle.
No, it's not good enough.
Okay, well I don't feel comfortable
Okay,
right here.
let's go 15.
No,
Watch
don't,
yourself.
Andre, they about
Watch
to
yourself.
touch me.
Watch yourself, please.
Don't touch
So-
me. Don't touch me.
Ma'am, please.
Do not touch me. Do not. I'm pregnant. Do not touch me.
Okay.
Do not touch me. What the fuck is going on? Do not touch me.
By trying to unlawfully detain and handcuff Ms. Cooks, the officer was directly violating her fourth constitutional right. The Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution provides that the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. The ultimate goal of this provision is to protect people's right to privacy and freedom from unreasonable intrusions by the government. Furthermore, the other officer assisting in her arrest wasn't adhering to his department's policies either. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, when a law enforcement officer uses excessive force or engages in other prohibited conduct, other officers on the scene have a duty to stop such action. By not intervening when seeing their partner unlawfully arresting someone, the officer failed in their duty and violated this policy. For a department that states, our well-trained police officers are experienced in handling their investigations from the initial report to successful prosecution, the lack of knowledge on the basics of law for one of their officers is concerning. Unfortunately, while trying to free herself from her unwarranted punishment, the situation escalated further once more.
Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Do not touch me, sir. Do not touch me.
Just
Do
maybe
not
that's a
touch
fence.
me. Do not touch me. I'm pregnant. Stop it.
Do
ridiculous! What are you doing? What are you doing?
Ma'am,
I'm pregnant! I'm pregnant!
so why are you resisting, then? Why are you resisting, please? I just lost my cuffs. Do you have your cuffs? Sit down.
By twisting her hands and throwing the pregnant woman onto the ground, there was no question that the officer went against his department's use of force policy, which states, "Officers shall use only that amount of force that is objectively reasonable under the totality of the circumstances known to the officer at the time the force is used. Force may appear necessary at the time the force is used, given the facts and circumstances perceived by the officer at the time of the event to accomplish a legitimate law enforcement purpose." The same could be said for the assisting officer, who once again failed to intervene in the arresting officer's misconduct.
Okay, get up, ma'am.
I can't, I'm pregnant!
Okay.
I feel my stomach!
Watch yourself.
Stop, my stomach, stop!
So why are you resisting?
Because you guys are stupid! Y'all are stupid, stop!
Go ahead. Get yourself up, please.
Please!
Get yourself up, please.
Please don't touch me! Please!
Please get yourself up.
Please, I can't!
Okay?
Andre!
We'll get your stuff, okay?
Stop it! Let my arm go! This is ridiculous! This is ridiculous!
Let's go.
What are you doing? Stop! Let my arm go!
441 custody is still coming.
Let my arm go!
Copy, code 401 in custody.
I hope I'm
It's still
gonna
combative.
get out of this school. I swear
Okay.
to God I will. Let my arm go.
You're under arrest
For what?
for obstructing
No,
delaying
I
a
did
police
not.
officer.
I
Go
did
ahead.
not.
Go ahead.
Oh, stop, please, stop. I didn't do
Just get in there. Just get in there. Just get in there.
Let's go.
Just get in there, please.
I was just dropping my daughter
Just get in
off
there.
at school.
Just get in there, please.
Please, there's nobody
Just get in
my
there.
kid.
Just get in.
No, I
Get
can't.
in, please.
Please.
42 with code 4. 15 with 1.
42, copy code 4, we're continuing with 1. Correction, copy code 4, 15 with 1.
And just for info, she still won't give her name.
42, copy, will not give her name.
Go ahead and sit down, please. Sit down. So you say you're pregnant, so go ahead and cooperate like that. We don't have to get hands on with you, okay? Just go ahead. Just go and sit down, please.
Sit back, ma'am. Sit back.
I need my daughter. She's in school. I'm not going to jail. I didn't do anything wrong.
Just go in there. I'm gonna have to pull you, ma'am. That's it. That's all there is to it. It doesn't matter. We're not gonna argue this right now, okay? You're going in no matter what. You are going to. You're going to jail right now, okay? We're gonna pull you. Let's go, ma'am.
Please don't pull on me.
You're making it worse.
Call 20, 10-4.
You're gonna be okay.
My child. Who's gonna take my daughter?
We're gonna talk.
My child. Who's gonna take my child out from
Corporal.
school? I'm here from.
Corporal.
I'll arrange that for you, okay?
Excuse me. You arrange what? I can't say it.
You okay?
Huh?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Or anything?
No, no, no.
Okay, alright.
No. Thank you. Yeah.
So, are you alright?
Oh, maybe she's got ID in there. Let me see this.
Hey, Joe.
Not only did he unlawfully arrest and harm a pregnant civilian, but the officer was now going through her belongings as well. This is important to note since, under the Fourth Amendment, police officers must obtain written permission from a court of law to legally search a person and their property and seize evidence while they are investigating possible criminal activity. Furthermore, evidence obtained through illegal searches is not admissible in a court of law. Moreover, if there is a reasonable expectation of privacy and there is no probable cause, a search warrant is required.
Joe. Is that for her? No? No. Okay. Does she need? Card? Yeah, you want to get pictures of that? Yeah, those up to now. Get pictures first. Yeah, hang on, Joe. No, that's not.
She said her first name was Michelle.
With us? I mean,
148. She didn't want to say who she was. I said, I have every right. I'm recalling. I have every right to ask you because you're directly involved. She went on a 415 right here, punched the lady's car or whatever. No damages, just the road rage. She came in apparently flying out of inside here. So the lady.
where's your car?
Huh?
Where's her car?
Her car, we don't know.
Okay.
She after the incident, she kind of like wanted I don't know, she went and parked her car, so I gave her like maybe a minute. I tried to convince her, say you need to give up your name, and so I went to place her under arrest and she resisted arrest, so.
Apparently, even these officers didn't seem like something was strange when the arresting officer stated that he arrested her for simply not stating her name, despite not being required to by state law. The ACLU further comments on this in a press release by stating that someone in California may still be arrested if they refuse to identify themselves to police, but it would be a wrongful arrest. State law allows people to refuse to identify themselves without being arrested. After the incident, Ms. Cooks was charged with resisting arrest, though thankfully those charges were later dropped. Moreover, in the aforementioned press release, the ACLU and the Barstow police have reached an agreement to train officers that people who don't ID themselves are not necessarily committing crimes. Moving on, we're going to take a look at an incident where officers unlawfully detained and then shot a black man in front of his family. On May 22, 2024, in Houston, Texas, police officers from the local department stopped a white BMW that was being driven by Robert Christopher Johnson in an apartment complex parking lot. The reason was that the vehicle was apparently one that escaped from officers a few weeks ago during a chase. How the situation was handled, though, could have been much better.
Okay, so this car ran from the police a couple weeks ago, so this car is ours.
This is my wife. This is my wife car.
Okay. The car ran from us a couple weeks ago, and y'all changed the plates on it, so the car is now ours.
You serious?
Yeah, we're seizing it. 100%. This returns us seizing this car.
Belongs to the state now. Go ahead and have your kids step out. We're going to do a quick search of it, and then we're going to have you remove your property, okay? Hold on, man. Hey, don't be removing nothing. Step out of the car for me. No, hold on. I'm getting everything. No, you're not. You're not. You're not. Hey! Get up!
Out of nowhere and without warning, the officers drew their firearms and immediately shot at the victim. While Mr. Johnson may not have been allowed to retrieve his belongings, the officers severely escalated the situation by trying to use deadly force. According to their department's use of force policy, it is the policy of this law enforcement agency to value and preserve human life. The use of deadly force shall be limited to those circumstances in which officers have an objectively reasonable belief that deadly force is necessary to protect themselves or others from the imminent threat of serious bodily injury or death. Officers shall not use deadly force against a person who is a threat only to themselves or to property. Officers shall exhaust all reasonably available alternatives, such as, without limitation, issuing a verbal warning, when possible, prior to the use of deadly force. officers shall consider their immediate surroundings and the safety of uninvolved persons before using deadly force. Unfortunately, without hesitation, the officers violated this policy and endangered not only the life of Mr. Johnson, but also his 5-year-old daughter and others who were in the vicinity.
You got a gun? You alright? Did he shoot you? Do you have a gun? He grabbed me. Hey, we need everyone over here now. 9501, I need units, code 1. Code 1, my location. Are you okay? Yeah, are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. Hold on. Hold on. West side. Arms up. You okay? Yeah. Okay. I got the girl in here. West side.
Despite what the officers may believe, they violated multiple department policies. According to Houston PD, prior to discharging a firearm, officers shall consider their surroundings and take reasonable precautions to avoid endangering bystanders. Moreover, officers shall not use firearms in any of the following ways: 1. Firing warning shots. 2. Firing at fleeing suspects who do not represent an imminent threat to the life of the officer or another person. 3. Firing at suspects whose actions are a threat to only themselves or to property. By not following these procedures, the law enforcement officers present also needlessly violated the core values of their department's use of force policy, which states, officers are authorized by law to use force to protect themselves or others, to effect an arrest, to bring an incident under control, or to maintain custody of those arrested. Furthermore, officers may only use a level of force that they reasonably believe is proportional to the seriousness of the suspected offense and the reasonably perceived level of actual or threatened resistance. It is the duty of all officers to constantly assess the situation, adjust their use of force accordingly, and intervene if witnessing another officer use excessive force. Finally, whenever practical, officers shall use de-escalation techniques to gain voluntary compliance and to seek to avoid or minimize the use of physical force.
No, we got shots fired. Get out of here. Marisol, switch over to west side for me.
While the victim was trying to run away from the lethal officers, however, they started chasing him down.
He's on the ground. Going northbound to the complex. Northbound. He's coming this way. Careful. Northbound. Alright, he's coming this way, bro. Be careful. Hey, get on the road! Get on the road! Parking lot. Get on the road! Eastbound. 2 officers need to stay put. Get on the ground now! Come to the fence line. Jump in the fence to the next complex here to see. Officers, get them good now. Hey, get on the ground now! On the ground! Down to the next complex. Next complex. I need you to push out even further. Come around the corner. Watch yourselves, officers. Hey, hold on. There he is. Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! Hey, officers are on it. Get on the ground! On the ground now! The other end. Hold the air. Hey, see that? Hold on. Alright, let's pat him down. Pat him down. Bro, calm down. He's sick. Make sure the waistband on the pants. Hey, watch his blood. Calm down. Hold on.
1, 2, 3. Come on, bro. Come on. Use your legs. Use your legs. Come on. Can't use your legs no more. All right, sorry. Come on. Come on. I was scared. Want to tell you why I was scared? Y'all shot at me. Y'all didn't have to shoot. Just get my money. Can you put my money in my pocket? Yeah, we got you. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Can I have? Yeah, you can have my cash, please.
In the end, Mr. Johnson was arrested and charged with multiple felonies. No further updates have been made. Next, we have a case where officers aggressively assaulted and held a teenager at gunpoint during a traffic stop. On May 3, 2024, in North Myrtle Beach, California, an 18-year-old girl by the name of Lanisha Hemingway was pulled over on Highway 17 South in a Dodge Charger while going to meet some friends for a graduation celebration, despite official documents obtained by the WMBF stating that her vehicle was driving under the speed limit. It's important to note that officers received a stolen vehicle notification for a silver Dodge Challenger with a different license plate number that was headed into city limits from Barefoot Resort Bridge Road. The following shows body cam footage of the incident.
Control, can you go ahead and 10-3 the channel? I'm getting ready to do a high-risk stop. Turning now, I'm trying to get up to it. It's not it. Show me your hands!
Despite the officer stating that the car wasn't the target, both she and her partner drew their firearms and aimed them at the car. According to the Legal and Liability Risk Management Institute, it is well settled that pointing a firearm at a subject who submits to an officer's authority is a seizure under the Fourth Amendment and must be reasonable as a use of force. How a court will review an officer's decision to point a firearm at a suspect can be seen in a case from the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit, Robinson v. Solano County. Considering Miss Hemingway pulled over, was compliant, and showed no signs of hostility so far, the officers had no reason to pull their weapons on her. By doing so anyway, though, they went against their department's policy on how to control a situation, which states, officers are required to assume control upon arrival at a scene, whether it's an accident, a civil disturbance, or criminal in nature. More often than not, this is accomplished via their professional appearance, citizens' respect for authority, their verbal commands, and even their use of verbal de-escalation techniques. There are, however, times when subjects ignore or resist lawful commands, detention, and arrest requiring officers to do more. In those situations, an officer may use only that force which is reasonably necessary to overcome the level of resistance, to secure a subject, or to stop a direct threat of harm posed by a subject.
Show me your hands! Driver! Use your hand to open the door! Use your hand to open the door! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Step out of the car, face away from me! Face away from me! Face away from me! Show me your hands! Walk back to the sound of my voice!
According to Cornell Law School, it's important to note that a traffic stop of a vehicle and detention of its occupants is a seizure for Fourth Amendment purposes. A routine traffic stop is justified if the police officer has a reasonable suspicion that the occupant is unlicensed or the vehicle is unregistered. Although an officer does not need a reasonable suspicion of the occupant's involvement in criminal activities. Furthermore, the reasonable suspicion of criminal activities discovered during the traffic stop may give rise to a legitimate Terry stop. However, as previously stated, it was captured on video that the arresting officer stated that the car they detained was not the one that they were looking for. Despite this, she and her partner continued to harass and intimidate the victim, causing the situation to escalate, which could have resulted in unprecedented circumstances.
Walk back to the sound of my voice. Walk backwards to the sound of my voice. All right, stop. Stop. Get on your knees. Stay there. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Yeah, in just a second, all right? Give me a second. Alright. What? Alright. Stand up.
Inside the vehicle, stop. Where you at?
We're at Highway We're at Circle K, 46 South. Alright.
After coercing Miss Hemingway to walk backward, the arresting officer detained the victim and unlawfully arrested her without probable cause, consequently violating her fourth constitutional right once again. On top of that, the officer in the back began searching through the victim's vehicle without her permission. Once again, according to Find Law, the Fourth Amendment's protection against unlawful search and seizure makes arbitrary police searches illegal. An officer first must have reason to believe you committed a crime, such as driving under the influence. Without your permission or a valid reason, an illegal search violates your constitutional rights. Furthermore, the only circumstances in which an officer may search your vehicle are 1. You give the officer consent, 2. The officer has probable cause to believe there is evidence of a crime in your vehicle, 3. The officer reasonably believes a search is necessary for their protection, such as a search for a hidden weapon, 4. The officer has a valid search warrant, 5. The police conduct a search incident to arrest, such as a search for illegal drugs. With none of the aforementioned conditions being met though, the officers were violating Miss Hemingway's rights once more.
I'm confused. So we got a hit that your car was stolen.
A hit that my car was stolen?
Yes.
Y'all can't put my registration in, everything.
Okay. Alright.
I'm only 18. Y'all can do this and then y'all put it out.
Car's report stolen, dear.
How my car's... Bro, let me call my mama. Let me call my mama. Did y'all even read the tags? No, y'all did not. Let me call my mama. And y'all got me in handcuffs. Like
give me a second.
And then gonna tell me to get down on my knees. This car is stolen. Y'all got me up.
That's not it? Alright.
Alright, shit.
Listen.
Y'all got me.
Okay. Listen. Here's what happened. Alright.
Let me go. What's wrong with y'all? Next time, y'all right. My way.
After the incident, Miss Hemingway unsurprisingly filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against the city of North Myrtle Beach, Police Chief Dana Crowell, as well as NMBPD officers Mike Pasilio and Kayla Wallace. However, when asked for a statement, a spokesman for the North Myrtle Beach Police Department told WMBF News the North Myrtle Beach Police Department does not comment on cases pending litigation. As of the date of this recording, no further updates have been made regarding this case. This next incident involves an innocent bystander being brutally maimed by an Ohio police officer's K9 in an unjustified scenario. On May 30th, 2024, in Canton, Ohio, after a traffic stop, authorities found an open bottle of liquor in a car that had been pulled over for taking a sudden turn to a curb. During a search, officers found a gun under a car seat and placed the driver and their passenger in handcuffs. Consequently, a crowd gathered in the neighborhood where the stop occurred became combative with officers and were ordered to leave the area. How the officers handled the crowd, however, was far from professional.
Hey, I'm about to put this guy in cuffs. Hey, say one more thing to this dog. Tear it up. You're about to go in cuffs. Go inside, you're going to jail. Go inside. Go inside. Hey, he's under arrest. You're taunting the dog.
No matter what the civilians were saying, the officers were not allowed to detain them. This is because the bystanders were protected by the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which states, "The First Amendment of the United States Constitution protects the right to the freedom of religion and freedom of expression from government interference. It prohibits any laws that establish a national religion, impedes the free exercise of religion, abridges the freedom of speech, infringes upon the freedom of the press, interfere with the right to peaceably assemble, or prohibits citizens from petitioning for a governmental redress of grievances." The Supreme Court interprets the extent of the protection afforded to these rights. Furthermore, the First Amendment has been interpreted by the court as applying to the entire federal government, even though it is only expressly applicable to Congress. Furthermore, the court has interpreted the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment as protecting the rights in the First Amendment from interference by state governments. Regardless, hurt by their words, the officers began unlawfully detaining one of the bystanders.
Cut him up. Stop resisting! Cuff him up. Yep. Go ahead.
Despite already having the victim detained and on the ground, the officer let his dog bite the bystander and harm him. According to the Police Executive Research Forum, agencies should issue at least one audible warning before deploying a K9, giving the subject an opportunity to surrender. Some agencies, such as the San Diego Police Department, encourage handlers to deliver 2 warnings if possible. Federal courts have repeatedly ruled that warnings must be issued and suspects must have the opportunity to surrender before a K9 is deployed. It also states that, when deciding whether to deploy a K9, handlers must consider the entirety of the situation before them. Relevant factors may include the severity of the offense and potential dangerousness of the suspect, the presence of bystanders and other officers at the scene, and weather conditions. Furthermore, when possible, handlers should consider alternative tactics before deploying a K9. The K9 may not always be the best tool to accomplish a goal, so handlers should consider options that may be safer for everyone involved and for the K9. Disregarding all these policies, the officer allowed their dog to severely and unnecessarily injure the victim, thus violating their constitutional rights.
Good boy!
In total, 4 people were arrested at the scene, the 2 men involved in the traffic stop, and 2 from the crowd. The latter were arrested on suspicion of disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and obstruction. On the other hand, one of the bystanders faced charges of assault on a police officer, while the other was accused of making threats to a police K9. Although the officer was later placed under investigation, no further updates have come out as of yet. Finally, our last case involves police officers unlawfully detaining a driver, drawing their guns, and shattering an innocent man's leg. On May 16, 2019, in Doral, Florida, 3 police officers were stationed outside a Shell gas station near the Palmetto Expressway, ticketing drivers for illegally driving in a center lane, where they then pulled over 31-year-old Craig Nembhard. Upon stopping him, an officer gave him a traffic citation for improper center lane use, which prompted a profanity-laced argument in which Mr. Nembhard claimed he was being ticketed for legally trying to turn into the gas station. Rather than handle the argument professionally, however, the officers resorted to much more lethal tactics.
out of here. Get out of here. Crap. How you doing? Do you have your license and registration, please? He's still talking crap.
Yeah. Talking all that trash, but get over here. Get over here.
Instead of simply providing the ticket and moving on with their own business, the officers provoked the driver further by returning his insults. This goes against their department's de-escalation policy, which states, when reasonable and practicable, officers should consider attempts to de-escalate situations in their interactions with subjects through the use of advisements, warnings, verbal persuasion, and other tactics and alternatives to higher levels of force.
Someone's about to get stomped on.
What? You pull up on me like that, boy? You pull up on me.
Get out the car. Get out the car.
Out of nowhere, with no reasonable suspicion or evidence, the officers believed that the driver was trying to pull up on them, and so immediately drew their firearms and pointed them at the victim. According to the United Nations Human Rights Office, law enforcement officials, in carrying out their duty, shall, as far as possible, apply non-violent means before resorting to the use of force and firearms. They may use force and firearms only if other means remain ineffective or without any promise of achieving the intended result. Moreover, law enforcement officials shall not use firearms against persons, except in 1. Self-defense or defense of others against the imminent threat of death or serious injury, 2. Preventing the perpetration of a particularly serious crime involving a grave threat to life, 3. Arresting a person presenting such a danger and resisting their authority, or to prevent his or her escape, and only when less extreme means are insufficient to achieve these objectives. In any event, intentional lethal use of firearms may only be made when strictly unavoidable in order to protect life. What these officers used it for, however, was the simple act of intimidating the driver who showed them some attitude earlier.
You pull up on me like that.
Make sure it's a park. Stop the car! Stop the car! Turn the key off!
What are you talking about?
Get out of the car.
I'm trying to put up.
Get out of the car.
I didn't run you over.
You trying to run at me?
No, I
with your car?
didn't. I'm trying to turn. What are you talking
You trying to
about?
run at me with the car?
No, I didn't. What are you talking about?
I got it.
My leg is broke.
Oh, no, man. Handcuffs ain't been so damn long.
I'm trying to run you over. I'm going to the gas station.
Why'd you pull up like that?
You pulled up over here on us like that.
I stopped. What are you talking about?
As if scaring him to death wasn't enough, the officers unjustly pulled the victim out of his vehicle and aggressively threw him to the ground. Through such an act, it was clear that the officer used excessive force and violated Mr. Namehard's constitutional rights while simultaneously breaking his leg.
My tank is on the other side. That's why I turned around.
Get up. Stop.
Hey,
Come on, get up.
Get up.
Get up.
My leg's
Get up.
broken. I never done nothing in my life. My leg's broken. Oh my God. Oh my God. My leg's broken.
Get out 714.
I'm trying to go on the other side. Look at my.
Send a unit and fire rescue to 79th Avenue, Northwest 36th Street, the Shell gas station.
I ain't talking about what side your gas tank is on. Yeah? What?
Send a unit and fire rescue.
What you say?
Shell gas station, 97. Correction, 79th Avenue, Northwest 36th Street.
8 cops here.
Well, you only need
We got a 39 complaining of injuries. I don't know, he's screaming. Just send him on a
When I get my legs broken by a job, you gotta press me.
keys in your pocket?
What?
It's for the car.
The keys in the car.
It's in your pocket?
No. It's in the back. I might die in my legs, bro. Why did you scare me like that?
It's important to note that law enforcement officials shall ensure the full protection of the health of persons in their custody and, in particular, shall take immediate action to secure medical attention whenever required. Yet, even after breaking his leg for no justifiable reason, the officers failed to provide medical services to the victim or even call an ambulance. On top of that, one of the officers continued to provide only verbal warnings to female drivers who were committing the same crime. This only showed the bias and unjustified charging and abuse of Mr. Namehard even more.
What's your name?
Lorena.
Lorena? That's you, right? Don't do it again. You were driving down the center turn lane, okay? That's a no-no. So go out that way.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. ¿Su nombre? Verbal warning. Un aviso solamente. Si no vas a escribir el ticket, te vamos a dar el ticket, ¿ok? O manejar por la línea del centro. No se puede hacer eso, ¿ok? Tenga cuidado al salir.
It's in there in the car. Stop asking me. No, strap my leg broken.
Yeah, he rolled up on us.
He take the cuffs off.
I was coming at me and Coop. Coop was at the back of this car getting the tag, and he rolls and he starts coming at me. Rescue's coming.
Right? When y'all get it back,
Hey, how about the minivan?
why you aggressively pooping like that? Nobody trying to hit you.
Who's Mercedes? Is that your Mercedes? Baja echar gasolina. Okay. Hold on.
Check the other car. You mad? Why you keep mad for no reason? I'm getting out the car.
And we got camera. Hey, is anybody taking care of that lady over there?
Oh, my leg.
Rescue's coming.
What leg is it? It's the right one. You slammed it. When you slammed, I'm feeling better.
It's broken. You're paralyzed, remember?
What do you think it's so No.
It's just words. It's just words.
You tell you hurt by the word.
Me? No, I'm
right?
not.
Right?
Trust me, I'm not.
A 30-year-old man ain't never done nothing.
Hey, I'm
Never
45.
done nothing. I
I've been
go
there.
to work. I go to school. Right?
I ain't hurt by the
You
word.
do this for words?
I'm not. Trust me. Trust me. Don't bother me, dog.
Man, it's all good, man. You know what?
Needless to say, Mr. Namehard sued both the officers and the city. Unfortunately, 5 years have passed since this incident, yet the City of Doral Police Department has stalled its internal investigation so that Officer Cooper and his peers can avoid disciplinary action and evidence favorable to Namehard is suppressed. At the very least, however, the state of Florida took no action on the criminal charges against Namehard and failed to obtain a conviction on the traffic citation issued to him. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter.